and that. We don't talk this and that. We don't talk this and that. We don't talk this and that.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the This and That Pod with me, your host Pierre. Today, Shasha is not around, so I had to invite a new guest, a not so new guest to the channel, but a new face to this podcast. All right, so I am here with Ifwa Koba, a YouTuber, also here in Winneba, and a colleague. We've collabed on a few videos already, but this is the first time you're here.
Yes, this is the first
All
time
right.
on this podcast.
Welcome to the This and That podcast.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for honoring our invitation as well. So today's conversation is on the topic of toxic relationships, right? Toxic relationships, why people end up in such situations, why they stay, and then how to get out of these situationships.
Right.
Now, the first question, usually I have an icebreaker to ask the guest or my co-host, but I don't have an icebreaker today, so I'll just go straight into the point.
All right.
Have you ever been in a toxic relationship?
No, please.
No.
Not at all.
Odeshi levels?
No, I don't do relationships.
You don't do relationships?
Single life.
Single life?
Yeah.
Are you speaking from a place of pain, or
No.
is it actually
Single life is good.
single life is good?
Yeah.
Don't listen to her. Love is sweet too. Love is sweet. Okay, so she has never been in a relationship before, but that brings us to the question: why do people end up in such relationships, toxic relationships?
Okay, so in my opinion,
Yeah.
I don't think people actually want to be in toxic relationships like willingly.
Mhm.
It starts from a point and ends up being a toxic relationship. So let's say the person is all good and all like an angel from the beginning. Then along the line, you find out there are certain traits of the person, or there are certain traits in the relationship that you can call it a toxic relationship. So it's not a willing something like to be in a toxic relationship.
Okay, so you mentioned something, traits.
Yeah.
So is it that the person shuts their eyes towards those traits, or is it that those traits come up later on? Because I think before you enter into any sort of relationship, you go through the stage of getting to know the person,
Yeah.
right? So once you're getting to know the person, there are things that obviously will pop up that will tell you who the kind of person this person
Yeah,
is.
so with the traits in the beginning, in my opinion, the love blinds
Love is blind.
a lot of people, so they are not able to see those kind of traits, or maybe those kind of traits they will see it as cool. It looks
Really?
nice and all good.
So like the bad boy aesthetics.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
you wouldn't see
Okay.
because you are blinded by the love.
Okay.
Yes.
So you are bringing in the perspective of love is
Sorry.
blind,
Yeah.
and that people usually overlook these things.
Exactly.
So from that perspective that you brought, can I then go on and say that the person who finds him or herself in such relationships deserves it?
Not really.
No, because if you are shutting your eyes to glaring red flags, let me just call them red flags, obviously, toxic traits,
Yeah.
then isn't that an obvious sign that you are actually looking for those things? You are actively pursuing that person for those reasons.
No, I wouldn't say we should really say that person deserves that kind of treatment, because you can clearly see the red flags.
Uh-huh.
Let's say, unless you are from afar.
Yes.
But the person in the relationship will be blinded. The red is going to look green because
Hey.
of the love that the person has
So
for the partner at that point.
love makes people colorblind as well.
Not really.
Interesting.
I'm just saying the red flags wouldn't seem red because of the love you have for the person. Do you get it? And with the intention that the person is going to change.
The intention that the person is
Going to change.
So
Yeah.
wait, before we even get to that intention
Okay.
that the person is going to change, toxic traits,
Yeah.
right? Can you, in your own understanding, tell us some things that you think are toxic
Okay.
traits?
In my own understanding, I think when we talk about toxic traits, people think it's only about the physical abuse, like punches, and then But
Okay.
even with the emotional side and the psychological side, we have people who actually make people feel bad.
Okay.
Meanwhile, they know the person isn't supposed to feel bad at that point. You know, some people really like joke with people's emotions. Some people are okay. Peter, will you believe I tell you, some people are okay when they are with someone in a relationship and they say stuff for the person to be down, like to be very sad. That's what makes them happy. So that's a toxic
So like
trait.
a narcissist or something.
Exactly. Some people are happy when they know that, oh, if I stop texting with this person, the person is going to be sad. So let me just do it, and then the person will be sad, and the person will try reaching out to me.
I mean, if
Yeah, people play with people's emotions.
all right, so you've pointed out some of these traits.
Exactly.
You've clearly mentioned and outlined these traits.
Yeah.
Now you are going into a relationship with someone, and that person is illustrating or demonstrating these traits. The
Yeah.
person
Peter,
often
in the beginning, the person is not going to show you that part.
people are who they are. People don't change. People don't.
People pretend.
People pretend, but it will always be there. These are signs that will always persist, right?
Yes,
It's
and
always
in the
there.
beginning of the
If-
relationship, it looks like it is a green flag.
Listen, if the person doesn't do it to you, he's
Yeah.
doing it to someone else, and you will by all means see those traits
Peter,
when
you
he's
don't know
doing it
when
to someone.
someone can pretend and the person is covering everything up.
There are a lot of things that are toxic traits.
Yeah.
Everyone has their own thing that they pick out as toxic
Yes,
traits. Me,
exactly.
one of the things that I look out for that I think is a factor that people overlook. It might sound funny. Don't laugh. It's very serious. People who don't speak good English is a toxic trait. You're laughing. People who don't speak good English is a toxic trait. Because see,
Toxic trait, how is it affecting the partner?
you don't know. See, such people have problem with their comprehension. Yeah, composition they mean can, but comprehension no form. So these people always tend to misunderstand things. They tend to take things out of context. They tend to, blow
People
up
who don't
things.
speak good English.
Oh yes.
So what if they
If-
always speak in the
there are
local
people-
dialect?
Still, comprehension no form.
Still.
Yeah. So if let's say there are certain times when you send text to people and the, people read it in a certain tone.
Yeah. Peter.
That one
yeah.
serves as a toxic trait.
No, it's not.
It is.
It's not.
It is. It
It's
brings
not.
a lot
Peter,
of.
No, it's not.
It is.
See.
Let me land.
It's not.
Let me land. You know, when we were learning, I think this thing we picked it up in like JHS.
Yeah.
When you are typing and you type in caps.
Caps, yeah.
That means what you are shouting at someone.
Exactly.
But if I type in normal fonts,
Yeah.
font sizes, and you are still reading it as me shouting at you, then you have a problem.
Peter, no, it's not the person having a problem, and it's not a toxic trait.
Oh, it is.
I know how I relate with you.
Uh-huh.
And if you text something, oh, I'm busy.
Yeah.
Sometimes due to
Because
whatever
he's
that
busy.
we've no, not even I'm busy. Due to whatever that we are talking about, the kind of conversation we've had throughout the day,
Uh-huh.
anything you text, I would be able to depict the tone you are using through the text without texting in caps.
So,
sometimes someone
you said-
can text, I am
so you see,
fine.
there's
you
a
can
context.
read it as I'm fine. Sometimes the same I'm fine can sound as I'm fine. Like
You see,
you know the person,
tone.
so like
The
you
person
can
has written,
read the
"I'm
tone
fine."
in the text.
I don't know.
Peter, I believe in reading text in
let
tone,
me bring in
like
a scenario.
tones in text,
Let me bring
sorry.
in a scenario.
Yeah,
I've proposed to you. You've turned me down.
yeah,
Before the proposal, I was acting all lovey-dovey, moving
Yeah.
to you on that manner. Why should you tell me that? Why should I? After election, no campaign.
yeah.
Now
Don't
the
keep
election,
the vibe.
yeah, the election has
Yeah, why should
ended.
you keep the vibe?
I've lost. So
Yeah.
why should I keep the vibe?
There's
so
no
if,
need to keep
if
that
I'm
vibe.
replying, okay. So if the person switches from long exaggerated text to
To-
simple, straightforward text, you should know that it's because something has happened. But this is
Yeah.
when nothing has happened, though. I'm just
Peter,
sending you normal text, and you are
That's
reading
why
it
I'm
in.
saying it depends on the text you've had throughout the day. Let's say we have a misunderstanding.
Yeah.
You would read it in a way that you know that no, this person is pissed, this person is being normal with me.
Exactly.
And it's not a toxic
So
trait
that one,
to
there's a
read
context.
tones in text.
There's a context.
Yes.
The context being that a misunderstanding has occurred.
Yes.
And now there's a reason for the person to reply in a certain way.
Exactly.
So when you read it with that tone.
Yeah.
Even though you don't know if that person is indeed sending it in that tone.
Yeah, and it's not a toxic trait.
I'll leave that one to you
Okay,
to
that's
decide.
your
in the,
toxic
like,
trait,
just-
like in your opinion,
just
but in my opinion, it's
me
not.
want to bro for a toxic trait. Well, bro for some for my toxic trait, man. Yeah.
Okay,
Or man
that's
to so for
cool
my
for you.
toxic trait.
Hey,
Woshi
don't come to mad. Don't come to mad.
Obeshiska. You will go to the market, will lay 50 pesos, you go and buy some will for 1 CD.
No.
No. So, all right. So right now there are two things, right, that I would like us to consider when talking about why people don't leave relationships that
Okay.
are seen as toxic.
Yeah.
One, as you mentioned, is love. The other one is pain. Pain not in the sense of physical pain or abuse or anything of that sort, but pain in the sense of let's say previous experiences and how they leave you to feel. So let's say the person has gone through heartbreaks in the past, and that has given them a certain perspective. Sorry, perspective in life that if I go for this kind of person, this will happen. If I go for this, whether good or bad, that's something like girls say. A lot of girls say all men are bad, all men are trash.
So
But
they just
I've heard a lot of times.
consider it like
So
that.
with that perception, you moving on in life, you tend to develop certain traits that tend to what toxic to the relationship you might be in, even if the person is actually doing good. You get it? So
Yeah.
we can come from that perspective or the other. All right. So
Yeah.
how do people end up stuck in such relationship when you're looking at these two perspectives, love and then pain?
Yeah, so let me start with the love. People get stuck in toxic relationships because of the love they have for their partners, okay? And when the love comes in, you have the intention that things are going to change
Sure.
because it started on a good note, and then you think that that side is the rough side of the relationship. And if you're able to sail through, things are going to be like perfect and
So
excellent
the
between both.
they be mentality.
They be a bay,
Sure.
and I think, in my opinion, things going to get better. I don't think it really works. I don't know if it has
Oh, it
worked
works.
for people,
I mean,
but
it works sometimes.
I feel okay. I feel it doesn't really work because people tend to change if they want to, and I can't convince you to change because of me.
People are people.
Yes.
People are who they are.
Exactly.
It's either they maintain that or they get worse. There's no
Okay.
changing.
Yes. So
Right.
if you think the person is going to change and things are going to be better, because of the love you have for the person, you tend to be there and you keep hurting yourself. And the person doesn't, some people don't even see their actions are toxic. Even if you point it out to them, they are not able to see. So you just have to stay away.
Okay. So for the pain perspective, before we go to that one,
Okay.
you know, there's something called Stockholm syndrome,
Yes.
where you literally get like you develop certain emotional affections towards people who actually do I say abuse or
Yeah,
maltreat
like
you?
hurt you.
Yeah, so someone kidnaps you, keeps you for like 2 months, and then for some reason during that how do I what word do I use?
Let's
That
say that
torturous
period, okay.
or that scary period, you develop affections for. It happens. It happens, right?
Yeah.
Those kind of relationships, it could equally happen within the context of a normal relationship, where even though the person's abusing you, maltreating you, throwing shades and doing all those toxic stuff to
Yeah.
you, you still develop certain affections that keep you in that relationship.
Yeah.
So in that instance, it's not love that is
Yeah,
keeping
it's
you.
not.
It is something else that isn't love, but is disguised as love that is keeping
Yeah.
you there. So pain and love, both are factors that keep people in toxic relationships
Yeah.
that we have settled on.
Yeah.
Me, I've always said, and right from the beginning, I said that if you overlook toxic traits right from the onset and then you end up in the relationship that is toxic, I do not think that you are free or you are void of blame. You deserve some extent of blame, even though we are not supposed to blame or point fingers here. To some extent, there's
I
supposed to be
feel
some.
like people shouldn't be blamed when they do things out of love.
Nah,
That's
Charlie,
that's my opinion.
if
People
out of love,
shouldn't be blamed
if out of love for
doing,
someone, I go and kill another person. I shouldn't be blamed. No, it's a
like
legit
in
question.
relationships, like limiting it to the toxic part of it.
Yes.
People shouldn't be blamed if like they fall victim to toxic relationships, like doing away with those parts in them.
I
Yeah.
will die on that hill. That I deserve some level
No,
of
I would
blame
also say they
for
don't deserve that blame. Yes. Because things done out of love, like you can't blame the person. You shouldn't even do that because it was out of love and it's genuine.
So, to that extent, then I could equally say that you being remaining in that toxic relationship, you are either addicted to that treatment you are getting, or you have no escape.
No, it's not the
Because
addiction to
you know,
the
there's
treatment.
this perception of people coming in and then saying that why don't you just leave? There are various factors that I'm coming in here. Right now, it's like I'm playing both sides. Right, there's the blame part, and then there's a part where I'm seeing someone who maybe, like you said, was misled
Yes,
due to certain misrepresentations.
exactly.
So the person ends up there. Now, for such a person, me, the one I'm blaming, me, I won't mind you. But for such a person, there's always the concept of why don't you just leave? Now, the why don't you just leave perspective that people have, it's not that simple for you to just pack your bags and leave.
Yeah.
For something like you are with a toxic man, a man that is literally beating you here and there every day, threatening you, telling you that if you try to leave me, I'll kill you. There's a fear element, right? If you're scared, if you are afraid of what this said person can do to you if you leave, obviously you're not going to go,
Yeah.
right? And then there's the element of you also, let's say the friends or the those around you, your circle, right? How they impact that relationship.
Yeah.
If the people around you are seeing you being constantly abused and they are not able to intervene, then you have a problem, right?
Peter, it's not always that people are not able to intervene. Sometimes it's not the addiction to the treatment. It's like you being attached to the person you're in the relationship with.
So attachment.
People get attached and obsessed with their partners, and these are like, I understand what I'm talking about.
So
Because
why are you speaking from
no,
experience?
I'm not speaking from experience,
Oh,
but
okay.
like I know
Someone's experience.
friends that are going through that. Like
And they are still inside.
yes,
or-
and they are still inside.
and you haven't said anything to get
And
them
it's
out.
not like, that's what I'm saying. Sometimes you intervening is not going to do anything because they are attached to their partners and they are in the
Okay.
relationship. They know what's going on in the relationship.
That's where
I'm
my
just someone who is seeing the toxic part of everything.
you have just justified
But,
what I have said.
Peter,
that there is some level of blame to be assigned.
No, I won't say they should be blamed because they are attached to the person due to one or two reasons of which I would never see.
You will see.
You are in
If
the
the person
relationship
comes
with them.
out
I'm
with
not in the
black-
relationship
black
with the
eyes,
person.
if the person comes
No,
out with
it's
black
not
eyes,
about physical
best
abuse.
lips,
No, it's not like physical abuse, like emotional abuse.
your friend went into the relationships at 230 pounds or 80 kilograms, and now she's at 50. One cement bag. Can you? The person is not on diet. The person hasn't told you ever that she wants to lose weight
Peter,
or that she's on
I'm
some.
not going to blame anyone because they are attached to their partners. They really love them and they are blinded by that love and they are still in
So-
their relationships. I don't know when they are going to leave. And I'm just someone who is somewhere. Even if I say something, at the long run, I'll be the third person. You see, when it comes to relationship issues,
You know this song, Asylum. If you leave me, it go what? Over
go
you.
over you.
If you run go or if you try
You
go,
go die young.
you will die young.
Yeah.
You will die young. I am quoting the song. You will die young.
They are
If
not
you
going
stay,
to die.
you will die young. See, there are certain things. I'm just trying to bring in certain elements that I think are getting people into this. So, let's say this person that you are with that is being toxic is because of the home that he's coming from. Let's say all growing up through
And
his
he
childhood,
can never change.
he went through this cycle of seeing his dad or some other her mom beating her dad or
Yeah.
his dad beating her mom, something like that. These people have been brought up in that perspective that, oh, this is how a man or a woman is supposed to act in a relationship.
Yeah.
So if that person is acting that way, you cannot expect to change that person or that
Never.
person to change. That's one. Two, if you stay, like I've been saying all through, you are to blame to some extent, not 100%, maybe 50, maybe 60, right? Now, there's also, what's this? Like you mentioned, attachment. People
Yeah, an
get attached.
obsession.
People get attached, people get obsessed easily. There are people who have gone through so many heartbreaks that when they see, or maybe not heartbreaks, let's say they've been alone for so long,
Yeah.
that when they get the chance to be in a relationship, they jump right at it and then they want to stick.
Yeah.
Let's say someone is 35, going on 40, almost near menopause. She's in a hurry to get into a relationship. The moment she grabs that one man who comes along,
That's all.
and one no. Even if the man is IT powers.
She's going to endure because there's no time to waste.
Exactly. So these are all things that are keeping people in
So,
such relationships.
exactly,
Right?
yeah.
Now, there are also other factors. Maybe financially, the person is supporting you.
Yeah. That's also
There
a
are,
factor.
right now, money is the go-to for all these relationships that are coming out.
Yeah.
If you don't have money, you will not share.
Exactly.
You will not. So
Exactly.
if you are in a relationship like that where the man is basically buying you even airtime,
You feel like you have nowhere
buying you
to
food,
go.
you have nowhere to go. If he beats you, he will just buy you
A wig.
cupcakes or a wig, and then you will just go back to being that
Maltreated, yeah.
submissive, subjective person. You are basically being objectified. You are an object. You are a punching bag with legs and a heart, literally. All right. So
Yeah.
now we've dealt with the part where we talk about how they get into it and then why they stay. Basically, we've just summarized everything up as best as we could. You
Yeah.
can also share your comments on what you've said so far down there and then share your thoughts as well. Now, how do people break free of these bonds? That's one thing that we are looking at. Right. Now, if do you want to go first or should I go?
Go first.
Now, when the first thing that I mentioned was identifying red flags. I said this thing from the beginning.
Yeah.
You said love is blind and love is colorblind. That red now looks like green.
Love is not colorblind.
From the science that I've done, small no RGB,
Yeah.
right? Is what?
Red, green, yellow.
Red, yeah, also yellow. Hey! Red, green, and blue.
RGB. Red, green, and blue. Sorry.
So if it's not red, it goes to green before it comes to blue. Now your eyes are blinded from that red spectrum. Me, I did physics, so yeah, I'm good like that. You
I also
understand?
did chemistry, so I'm
So
good like that.
you're blinded in the red spectrum that you only see green. You are only on go mode. You see every man, any flavor of man, and you are on go mode. That's all you know, because what you have been blinded by love. See, red flags are red flags, right? Red flags can never be green flags. The fact that a man is doing all the right things and is saying all the right words, but is still showing those red flags that should equally take you away from them, is something that you should run. You should be running from. So, my point is, recognizing these red flags is the first step towards avoiding any sort of toxic relationship or
Yeah.
avoiding getting into one. If you are already in one and you don't even know if it's toxic or not, you can still spot red flags in your relationship and you are still there. The day you wake up and you have been beating red and blue and black, is it red and blue or red and black or blue and black? Basically, you have been turned into a punching bag. That's the day you realize that you are in a toxic relationship. Do not wait till it is too late to get out of that date.
Yeah.
Bars, my nigga.
Yeah.
All right. Do you have something?
Yeah. Yeah, okay, so as I said from the beginning, that love blinds people from seeing these toxic traits, but like at a point when you get fed up, that's when you see that even like weeks ago, this and that, oh okay, so this is a toxic trait and all. That's when you like eye clear. That's when you're able to identify that from like you being blinded by love. You see, sometimes you're like eye clear. That's when you realize that, oh, so all this while this was what was going on. Do you
Yeah.
get me?
Okay.
Yeah, so toxic relationships, in my opinion, I think like it really drains people and like it's not good for our health. Even
Oh,
when
it's
you
not
think-
good.
Yeah, if even
Yeah.
when you think about your health, like it's not good. So if you're able to identify that this is a toxic relationship, you just have to free yourself.
Most of the people losing weight right now, it's no Ozempic.
Yeah.
It's no exercise. They are not going to the gym. They are sitting in the house. It's not diet. It's toxic
Yeah,
relationship.
so you just have to free yourself, like just be free.
Stop wearing corset of toxic relationships and free
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah.
Breathe.
Be single, like you'll be okay.
Don't be single. Yeah, go and
No,
find
I-
love. Now, the second thing that I would say, which is a less traveled road, would be therapy. Now, in Ghana, here, I don't think there are therapists. There may be. I see people learn it all the time in the universities, but we don't really see people carrying themselves around calling themselves therapists. I mean,
Yeah.
there's one counselor, Literate or something,
Yeah.
who is online supposed to be a counselor, but is basically a comedian. Please don't let this video go out. I beg. I don't want stress. But yeah, basically, you could take the approach of what? going for therapy, seeking
Yeah.
counsel from people who are in positions to offer good advice.
Yeah.
Good advice.
Yeah.
Right? And then also building yourself a support system. The support system doesn't mean going to call your brothers to come and beat the man. I mean, that is also a viable option, though. Maybe you're my sister, you're going through something like that. Just come and call me. I have the gym boys. I'll just call the bros, and then we'll move to the man. Understand? If you're my subscriber and you're going through something like that, just holler at your boy. Okay, we have the men. Just move to them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
building a support system, going for therapy or seeking counsel from people who are in the position to give you good advice. That's something that you should consider as well. Do you have anything to add?
Yeah, and I think if we build on our own self-esteem, self-confidence, I
Self-love.
think yes, self-love is going to help us, and
Yeah.
we are not going to depend on other people to make us happy.
Yeah.
And so if they are not there, we are not there. Like
Exactly.
no, let's build
The
on
first
ourselves.
step is to always love yourself.
Exactly.
Love and appreciate yourself.
Exactly.
Don't just love, appreciate yourself as well.
Yeah.
Appreciate the things you are capable of doing
Exactly.
and not capable of doing equally, because
Exactly.
both ends make you who you are.
Exactly.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Now, the final takeaways from all of this: if you are listening, if you are listening to us today, and you are in a toxic relationship, or you are looking to enter into a relationship, but you are spotting red flags and you are scientifically blinding yourself with love to see green, please cease and desist. That is the first thing. Cease and desist. You cannot change someone who is set in their ways. Don't try to turn yourself into Jesus Christ. You are not the Messiah. Do not turn into a savior. You did not come into this world to save anyone but your family. Please. So the first step, in my opinion, is to do what? Save yourself.
Yeah.
If you are the savior, save yourself. Wear them boys. That line in there, it goes to you. Save yourself first. All right? Then you sit back, you reflect on those things that you saw. If indeed you saw those things, you're able to step back, point them out to the person, and then let that person know that this and this is why he left. And maybe that might be a way for them to also reflect and then change themselves. Fine. If the person is set in their ways, fine. You move on with your life. Understand?
Yeah.
Simple. Any advice?
Yeah, so as it stands, I still want to talk about self-love and then self-confidence. Let's try and build ourselves and appreciate whoever that we are, and that we are not going to depend on other people to make us feel like we are worthy of whoever that we are.
Yeah.
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 And don't rush into a relationship. Just relax. Like,
If you rush into it
Don't rush.
and you find yourself in such situations as well, Dovsu is there. You can equally go and
Yeah.
report such a person. Domestic violence is not to be entertained under
Yeah.
any circumstance, not even for love.
yeah,
All right?
exactly.
Please take care, save yourselves from any sort of situationships, relationships, marriages,
Talking stages.
talking stage na ebo. And now,
Oh, bruh.
Hey, hey. All right. Thank you for watching. Always remember to hit the subscribe button, like, share, comment, and yeah, leave your thoughts in the comment section. If you have any topics you want us to talk about as well, don't forget to do what? Drop them down there. And yeah, subscribe to her channel.
Yeah.
Right, she's coming back. Subscribe.
That's a
I will force her to come back. That one, there's no toxic. It is correct. We are forcing you to come back. All right.
No problem.
All right. So we'll see you on the next one.
All
Peace.
right.
This no be regular podcast. Anywhere we go, if you record them, we dey meet random people and they listen.